Anyway, as we pulled into the entrance of the hospital, I passed a massive blood clot at that stage, and then the ramp got stuck on the back of the ambulance. They couldn't get me out very quickly, but even so, I was sort of just lying there thinking, okay, something is happening here. And the minute they got the ambulance door to work, as soon as the wheels on the trolley hit the ground, then there was sirens and an awful lot of people and running down the corridor, well, it was like something off Casualty really, and I heard someone shout, "Crash team," which sounds quite dramatic, but at the time I was thinking, crikey, crash team, who's dying? Is it me? Am I dying? I don't feel that bad. I mean, I'm in quite a lot of pain, but I don't think I'm about to die.
And so we went into theatre, everything was fine. Baby was born, healthy 9.5 pounds. And then that's when really it's kind of started to go wrong. I remember a lot of activity, a lot of people in the room. I remember a sense of urgency, a lot of very serious faces, and I don't know whether it was the drugs or whether it was because I'd lost a lot of blood. I think within the first 4 hours I'd lost something like 5 litres of blood. And so whether or not that was making me drift in and out of consciousness as well. But basically from when I went in to have the C-section to the moment they decided to do the hysterectomy was 4 hours, but it seemed like half an hour.
When the first thing I said to him when he ran in across the intensive care, I didn't know it was intensive care at the time, but he ran in across the room to me, and even before that I'd kind of known something was really wrong. My first words to him was, "Phew, I'm not doing that again." And he said, "You can't," or something along those lines. And as much as that, hearing him say that was just it was just devastating to hear that. I kind of knew that had happened.
It was an awful experience to wake up and you know you've had a baby, you can't see the baby. She was in the neonatal unit. I couldn't see her because it wasn't even on the same side of the hospital. I woke up, my husband wasn't there because it wasn't visiting times and they weren't flexible.
But they kept saying, you'll look forward to seeing your son, and I thought, what son? What do you mean? Didn't really mean a lot to me.
Where was he?
He was in neonatal.
In the same hospital?
No, different hospital, a few miles away. But the nurses there were ever so good. They wrote a little diary from my son to me, and of course that got me. That got me. So he wrote about what he'd been doing that day, and but it was not real to me. And my partner showed me photographs, and I actually said, "Have you got the right baby?" I didn't recognise him.
I didn't have a choice, and I think that was hard, the helplessness, thinking about the pain, because I can still remember the pain now, and I remember I got told as well that if I'd have been left an hour more upstairs, I'd be dead now. So I don't know how they managed. I think it was because the septicemia had kicked in already. Yeah, so that was hard, because obviously then I would start to think, well, what if I hadn't woken up? How would they know I was dead? how would they know to help me? And the fact is, I just would have died. Nobody would have known, because my partner would have come up and just been like, oh, she's sleeping, bless her. Do you know, that's scary.
Was it quite a shock having been in hospital for such a
Yeah, it was hugely emotional leaving. I can remember just getting to the waiting room and just bursting into tears, and then getting to the car and sort of having to, we made it, I can't believe we've done it. But it was lovely, you know, being in, and it was a really special Christmas. It was a very intimate Christmas, but it was, you know, you're a lot more grateful for what you've got.